Hi guys, welcome to my November monthly reset. We didn't do a formal monthly reset last month. I just needed a break and I figured I was kind of doing the same thing over and over again every single month. I've come back, I've refreshed, and we're gonna lock in because we have 2 more months of the year left. So today we are gonna take a look at my overall yearly goals, see where we're at, if we need to adjust anything. I do like November and December. I'm just not a fan of it getting colder. It's literally daylight savings today and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it getting dark earlier. I'm not a fan of it being cold all the time, but I'm also trying not to let that get to me. And I want to look at it in a more positive light this year and just embrace like the coziness and being inside and like not trying to fight it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like everyone tries to like fight seasonal depression or like still try to do like fun things in the winter, and like I think I'm gonna go the opposite this year and just focus on being home, being cozy, being warm, doing the things that make me happy, which is being at home with my cats, reading, and watching TV. Like, I don't know. I just think there's no reason to like push myself to like do things that aren't gonna make me happy. First thing we'll start with is my October reflection. Just to quickly recap the month of October. I don't have much to say, I feel like, about October. I enjoyed October. I feel like a step back from like long form content. I didn't film as much or post as much on here as I would have wanted to, but I also think that that was important for me to take a step back and not overdo it, because editing these videos can be very, very time consuming and it does take a lot of energy and effort. So I'm not mad about it. It's just an observation that I made. But on the other hand, one of my main goals this month was to stop caring so much about what I'm posting on short form and just be a little bit more myself and be a little bit more like spur of the moment on short form and do more talking videos and just getting out there, posting whatever I want. And I did do that and I feel very proud of myself, and also I feel like it paid off because I grew a little bit more on short form than I was hoping, and I made a little bit more money on short form than I was hoping. So I think that paid off in some regards. So sometimes I feel like you need like a good balance of short form, long form, and I still did post at least once a week on long form, so I'm not mad about it or by any means. I just feel like this month I needed to take the pressure off myself of posting certain things, certain aesthetics, certain number of videos. Like I just wanted to be myself and post what I want to post, and I feel like it definitely paid off. And I do feel like I'm finally getting my personality out there a little bit more on short form instead of constantly just doing voiceovers and trying to have like this certain vibe to everything. I feel very good about like how this month went on social media. Yeah, hopefully can just continue doing that and like stay growing and getting out of my comfort zone a little bit. Highs and lows for the month. The highs would be finding out that I think I found out in October that I'm getting transferred to the new facility that's closer to me. So that is very exciting. I start there November 17th. That's something to look forward to this month. We had a couple of like friends events, like bonfires, Halloween parties. So we just got to spend a lot of time with people that we love and like enjoy spending time with. I hosted book club this month. So we did a lot of social events for me. And then lows, I will say my biggest low of the month was that my parents did finally move out of my childhood home. They sold it back like a few months ago, but then they were still able to stay there until the end of October. But now they are officially moved out of my childhood home. But I'm not that sad about it. I felt like I was gonna be sadder. Originally, they were gonna move out of that house like way back, like when I first went to college. So that would have been more sad, I feel like. But now that I'm older, I've been out of the house for a long time. I only go back to the house maybe 2 to 3 times a year. So it doesn't feel that sad anymore. I'm glad that they waited to sell, because I probably would have been really sad if it had been earlier, but it's still sad. It feels weird knowing that like when I go back for Christmas, I won't be going to my childhood home. I'll be going to a new house that I haven't even seen yet on the inside, so it's kind of weird. We're doing good. We're doing good. October was a good month. The last thing I will go through for October is the books that I read. I read 4 books. If you heard me rate any of these books before and it's different, I'm sorry. I didn't write any of these down, which is not like me. But first book that I read was The Dead Husband Cookbook by Danielle Valentine. I think I would give this 3.75 stars because I liked it, but I didn't love it. 4 is like I really liked it. 4 to 5 is like, yeah, loved it. 3 to 4 is like, it was good, you know? So I'd give it 3.75, like not quite a 4-star for me. It was enjoyable for sure. It was one of those books where like, I feel like this is like a common theme now where one of the main characters is interviewing someone about like their life and their past and how they ended up where they ended up. And then like, obviously there's a big secret and twist about like what's going on. Like kind of like the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo type book. Like I feel like it's a little overdone, so it's not my favorite type of story, but I did enjoy this book. Next, I read Count My Lies by Sophie Stava. That was my in-person book club book of the month, and I really actually enjoyed this book. I think I would give this 4 stars, maybe even 4.25. I really enjoyed it. I felt like it kept my attention the entire time. The main character is like a pathological liar, which is very interesting. I feel like that kept you like on your toes because you were kind of like, this girl is crazy and insane and like, why is she lying about all this stuff? But I will say the ending I was a little bit like confused about. Like I don't know how realistic like the ending was. Like not that it needs to be realistic, but just like felt kind of strange that was how it ended. But I mean overall still really enjoyed it. I felt like it was a good read and a good read for the month of October. Then I read The Mad Wife by Megan Church. I think I thought this book was going to be a little bit different than it was. I didn't not like it, but I also found it very slow. I liked the general concept of it, that like it's about a housewife in the 50s whose like job it was to like maintain the house and cook dinner and like do all these things, and it's kind of showing you how that's not always like, that wasn't like super desired sometimes for the women. Like they felt like that's what they had to do and that was their job, but not everyone felt like happy that this was their life. It really showed also postpartum depression and like postpartum just like feeling. So I don't know. It was very interesting because also like back in that time, that wasn't something that was very known. I definitely thought it was going to be a little bit different, but I still enjoyed it. I think maybe I would give it, that's another like 3.75. And then the last book that I read was Taurus Season by Brynn Weaver. I was hoping to like this book more than I did. I don't know. I don't know what I didn't really like about it, but I just don't think it's my kind of book, which is weird because I like romance and I like thriller, and I feel like it's like a combination of both, but it's like dark romance, and I don't think that that's my genre. Kind of like everyone in the book is like a serial killer, and the girl's a serial killer. She's on the run. She's killing tourists in this town that are like doing bad things. So she's killing people that deserve it. And then the male main character is trying to kill her because he thinks that she is someone who she's not, but then they fall in love. And then there's like 2 other serial killers. Yeah, I think overall I would probably only give that 3 stars. Yeah, those were the books that I read this month. Pretty decent reading wrap up, I would say. You know, not all super high rating books, but I got through a lot of books, and I like reading things that I normally, you know, wouldn't, or maybe weren't my kind of style of books, so that I can at least get out of my comfort zone a little bit. That's what I read. I feel like I'm a little bit of a picky reader, I will say, compared to some people. I feel like some people give a lot of books high ratings, and I feel like I give a lot of books like middle ratings. I will only give it a 5-star if I truly really enjoy the book. That's all I'm going to mention for October. I feel like I could go through all of my goals like I normally do, but that's just like, we're very repetitive at this point, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, we'll just look at the yearly goals in a little bit and see like where I'm at in my progress on those, because all of my monthly goals are smaller sections of bigger main goals that I'm trying to reach by the end of the year. Before we get to that, I want to do a report, which this is like a trend I feel like that's going around on TikTok, which stands for reading, eating, playing, obsessing, recommending, and trading, because that's really fun. That's fun to share the different things that you're interested in right now, what's on mind right now. For reading, I actually just finished tourist season last night, so I'm kind of in the middle. I haven't started my next book yet, but I decided today that I'm gonna start the Chestnut Spring series officially by Elsie Silver. So the first book in that series is Flawless. That is what I'm going to be currently reading, and I'm very excited to read this series. I felt like I was in a little bit of a book slump, so I decided that I think this is a good next move for me, because I think I've given every single one of her books between 4 and 5 stars. So I just feel like I need to get some really, really good reading in, and I can get through her books relatively quickly. I'm gonna try to read all 5 books in the month of November. So that's what I'm reading. Eating, I had a hard time with this one, like coming up with what I like and like hyper fixated on at the moment. I'm not a big foodie. I feel like I've said this before. I don't enjoy eating. Like, I don't know. I just eat to like eat because I have to. I don't really like eating out, and I don't love like any certain type of food. So instead of food, I did drinks, because I am a drink girly, a beverage girly. So the beverages that I've been enjoying are the Bloom energy drinks, because I've switched from Alani to Bloom. I saw on the internet that Alani's can cause like your skin to break out, and let me just tell you, ever since I stopped drinking them, my skin has cleared up tremendously. To go with that, I also really have been enjoying the Bloom like soda, probiotic soda. I don't know, they had the new Shirley Temple flavor come out, so I got a case of those. I really like those. I just love a good beverage, and I love these like probiotic drinks, because the other one, as if you've seen any of my videos, you know I am obsessed with the Olipop Crisp Apple. It's my favorite. I could drink that every day and never get tired of it. It's so good. So freaking good. And then playing, I also didn't know what to really say for this, because I don't play any games, or like I don't have apps on my phone. Like I don't really do anything like that. So I took this as playing music. You guys might be shocked, because I don't talk about like my music preference on here very much, but I am currently obsessed with Big X the Plug. That is my favorite artist at the moment. I have always loved rap music since I was young. It doesn't suit me, I don't think, but it just is what like it is. I just like rap music. So Big X the Plug is my current favorite musician. So that's what I've been playing. Obsessing. Me and my husband are currently rewatching Stranger Things, because the new season is coming out. It's coming out in sections in like November and December. So we wanted to rewatch, because obviously it's been a while since we've watched it, and every single Stranger Things season comes out so freaking far apart that, I mean, I couldn't even remember. I couldn't even tell you what happened in like some of the seasons. So we decided to do a full rewatch of all of the seasons, so that we're caught up and we can watch the new season and be like refreshed. But I'm obsessed with it right now. We're on season 3. I've cried in the first 2 seasons already, even though I know what happens, but I've been enjoying it. I really, really, really like Stranger Things. I forgot how much like I enjoyed it, so we've been obsessing over that. For recommending, I have one product that I'm currently really, really liking, and it's the Rare Beauty perfume. I ended up getting the small like sample one of it, because the full size one is $75, and I got like a little pack of this and one of the blushes for like $30. I think I'm gonna wait for the Sephora sale and get the larger size, so that I can at least get some kind of discount. It's not gonna be much, because I only get like the 10% on the Sephora sale. That scent is really, really good. And I'm not a huge like perfume person. Like I don't really wear scents daily, because I work in healthcare, and like normally we don't wear perfume just because scents can sometimes bother patients. But that scent I really, really like. And then treating. So I did treat myself to an automatic car starter for my car for the winter. Well, for every winter going forward. I just did that yesterday, and that was my birthday gift to myself, because my birthday is next week, at the end of this week, and I'm turning 30, and I said, you know what? I deserve it. I deserve to not be freezing in the morning. I just feel like there's so many reasons why I need it. I'm always cold. I have Raynaud's, so my toes and my fingers turn white and purple, and they are frozen. I get up, I have to leave around 6:30, so it's always cold and dark and like snowy because we live in Pennsylvania. And also I plan on having this car for a long time because I paid it off. It's only a 2024 Honda HR-V, so we're gonna have this car for a long time. Might as well invest, put the car starter in, and yeah, have it for a long time and use it for winters to come. Yeah, that's what I treated myself to. Probably will still treat myself to a few other things for my birthday, but yeah, that was needed, and I'm very happy that I did it. Last section of this video is going to be my yearly goal check-in, because we need to check in, see how we're doing, make any adjustments. So 2025 goals. We're starting out with the finance goals. I had already kind of gone through at one point and checked off. Some of these are put like some of my totals. I think in June I went through and like checked off anything that I had completed and put some of the totals for like a mid-year update. The first one is already checked off because in June I must have already had paid at least $5,000 towards the car loan, and I did officially pay off the car, so I can check that one off. The next one was to have $5,000 in my emergency fund, and I can put that up to $4,600, and by the end of this month that should be at $5,000, so I should have that one checked off, which is awesome. The next one was to put $3,500 in my Roth IRA, and I ended up kind of putting that one on pause. I got a little screwed in my taxes last year because we did married filing separately because we'd only been married for like half the year and we just genuinely didn't know what to do. And when you're married filing separately, the limits that you can put in your Roth IRA are lower. So I haven't been putting anything in there because I freaked out and I was like crying, bawling my eyes out last tax season because it was so stressful. But so I think I'm going to just take that one out. I'm gonna reevaluate and really gonna try to do that next year, because I do feel like it's really important, and I know that it's gonna be very, very beneficial for me to invest and like put money in my Roth IRA. So I do want to do that. I just needed this year to like sort everything out and really focus on like my debt payoff before I focused on investing. The next one was to pay off my credit card every single month, and I have been doing that. I'm not going to check it off yet because there is still 2 months left in the year. I do think that I will do that these next 2 months, but for the sake of it being a yearly goal, I will hold off on checking that off. And then the last one was to buy our first house, and we decided, like, honestly at the beginning of the year I could have taken this off. I just didn't know, like, you never know what can change in a year. Honestly, at the beginning of this year we decided that we were gonna hold off and wait one more year to buy a house. So I am gonna take this off as well because obviously that's not gonna happen. But yeah, I didn't want to take it off any earlier in the year just in case something changed with our plans, but it didn't. We are hoping to start the process in like February or March, start looking at houses, get pre-approved, all of that good stuff next year for sure. This year was kind of like, are we gonna do it this year? Are we gonna wait? Should we try to get some of our other finances a little bit more in order? And that's what we decided to do. So we're on the right track to complete the rest of these goals. And again, it's okay that your goals change during the year. That's normal. That is totally normal and totally fine. Me now, I'm not the same person that I was at the beginning of the year. And so again, so much can change in 12 months that your priorities change. Things happen. I've changed my job like 3 times. And there's just different priorities, and that's fine. I don't think it's like a failure if you change your goals or delete one or like don't reach any of these goals. It wasn't meant to be. And you're allowed to change your mind and you're allowed to figure things out as the year goes on. That's my 2 cents on, reaching goals, not reaching goals. Personal goals. I just looked at how many books that I've read so far this year, and I'm at 36. I already reached my goal of 30 books, which is very exciting because that's the most books that I've read in a year in a very, very long time, or maybe ever, probably. I'm gonna set a second goal of reaching 43 books. Date night once a month, we've been doing that. Again, I won't check that off just yet because we still have 2 more months to get through, but I do think we'll reach that. And then the next one is to take 2 long weekend trips, and we are scheduled to take our second one this coming weekend. So again, not gonna check that off just yet, but it is happening this weekend. Our main like trip this year was Charleston, and then we're doing like a little trip for my birthday to Toronto, which is gonna be next weekend. We knew this year we wanted to do smaller trips, smaller like vacations, because again, we're trying not to spend a ton of money and focus on some of our other financial goals. We did still want to like go places and travel a little bit while we can, and like while we still have the time, and before we like settle in on a house and have like way more responsibilities. The next one was to officially change my last name, and I do need to do that. I actually need to do that. It's been really hard, and I feel like people don't talk about how hard it is, and like emotionally how hard that is to come to grips with the fact that you're gonna change your last name and like your whole identity changes. Like I know it really isn't that deep, but it is kind of, and like I just feel like I'm losing that part of my family, even though I know that I'm not. It's just been a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be, for sure. I haven't done that, and I don't think it's gonna happen by the end of this year. It will definitely happen next year because my passport expires, so I do want to do it then, because I might as well do it while I'm changing, while I have to renew it anyway. So I'm gonna take it off this list, but I am definitely gonna put it back on for 2026 goals and get it done. We're gonna have to get it done. Yeah, the next one also was to start trying for a baby, question mark. So we knew it was like maybe. We knew it was like a maybe not. So we're gonna take this one off too, because that was only if we bought a house, because we knew like that's the first step. You don't have to have a house before you start having a baby, but we knew that we didn't want to bring a baby into this apartment because it's just not suitable, and it wouldn't work for us. So we knew that our timeline was definitely get a house, be financially in a position where we can have a house and have that settled, and then a family. That we're also taking off the list. You know what? I feel very grateful that we didn't do either of those things this year either, because I wasn't ready. You know, it would have worked out for sure, but I feel like next year we're gonna be way more ready for those kind of big life changes. The timing will happen when it's supposed to. I truly believe that. So next is health goals. So I wanted to lose 22 pounds, and guys, very exciting news. We've lost 32 pounds. I feel very good. I feel very healthy. I feel much more confident. I've been taking a GLP-1 medication to help with this weight loss. I never want to like hide that, and I was obviously also working out and eating better, eating healthier, like making these lifestyle changes that is gonna sustain this weight loss. Then I want to work out twice a week consistently. I was doing that at one point consistently. I'm not anymore, and I kind of said at the beginning of this video, I just feel like the winter time is very hard for me because I don't like leaving the house. I don't like being cold, getting myself to like coming home, having it be pitch black, and then going out in the cold to go do a workout just isn't something that I'm gonna do. Like, it's not gonna make me happy. I'm gonna be absolutely miserable. I'm currently like an in-between right now. Like, I was working out very consistently, and then I kind of stopped, and that's what happens to me a lot. And now I'm trying to figure out a way that I can get back into it and maybe do some home workouts, which I'm not opposed to doing, and I usually can at least get myself to do some kind of movement, even if it's just like a 20-minute, 30-minute video that I'm like following along to, hoping to get back into that routine. Next, I wanted to cook one new meal a month, and I have been doing that. I think every single month. There may have been one month that I missed, but I do plan to do that for the next 2 months as well. And then I wanted to limit alcohol. I am going to check that one off because I've been doing that. I don't really drink at all anymore. It doesn't sit well with me at all. Finally, we're going to get to content goals. I did want to do a work-life balance burnout series, which I did start at the beginning of the year because that's when I had gone part-time. So I did do that, but I'm gonna just take it out because I didn't continue doing that. And then I did want to post daily on TikTok. I'm on track to reaching that goal. I wanted to get more comfortable talking to the camera, specifically for short form videos and doing like, you know, videos where I'm talking to the camera. But I am gonna check this off because the last like few months I've been doing a lot better at like filming more like talking videos and even like being more comfortable in front of my husband, which is hilarious. Like he's like, why are you so nervous to film in front of me? And I'm like, I don't know. And those videos have been doing well, so I feel like people do like them. And again, I feel like that's where I can kind of really get my personality out a little bit more, which people appreciate, and that's where you grow your like personal brand. Then my numerical goals. I feel like I'm a little off on these goals, I'm not gonna lie. My current YouTube subscribers are 8,931, which I thought I would get. I thought I was gonna be closer to 20,000, and I'm not. So we're gonna change this goal to get to 10K on YouTube, because I do feel like that's very possible in the next 2 months. I wanted to get to 150 on TikTok, and I'm at 116, which I'm gonna leave 150 as the goal. I haven't really been gaining that much like per month where I feel like I could get to 150, but you never know with TikTok. Like you really never know when you might have a viral video. So I'm gonna leave it and still try to reach that goal. And then 25K on Instagram, I'm at 15.4. Don't think I'll get to 25, so I'm gonna put 20K on Instagram. And I feel like that's a little bit more achievable than 25. My next goal was to make $20,000 from social media. Around June, I was at 12,000, and I did all of the math. As of last month, I was at just under 30,000 for the year, which is incredible. I'm so grateful for that. A lot of it was brand deals, which is so exciting and like an amazing opportunity, an amazing source of income, which again, if you've been wanting to start social media, this is your sign to just do it, because there's so much money out there to be made, and if I can do it, you can do it. So we're gonna check that off, and then I guess I'm gonna make another one to say make 35,000 and see if I can reach that, because I do have a couple brand deals in the works. I just don't know when exactly I'll get paid for those. Very exciting, very cool. I wanted to also have a sponsored YouTube video, my first sponsored YouTube video, and I did technically, so I'll check that off. It wasn't like a ton of money, but it was a sponsored portion of a YouTube video, so that was really cool. And then I did want to get one brand deal a month. That hasn't happened. It's been consistent, but it hasn't been every single month, so I'm not gonna check that off, and I probably won't. I think I won't be able to at the end of the year. I'll leave it because it was something that like I can't change, but I didn't reach it. That's where we're at for all of my goals. I feel like we're doing really well, and I'm on track to reaching a lot of these goals, which is so exciting. We will check back in with those goals in January. Anyway, before it literally is pitch black, I'm gonna end this video here. As always, love you guys so much, and I will see you soon in my next video.